Does copywriting matter in 2021? Just ask Gary Vee. He says copywriting matters, and most people are just phoning it in. In fact, here's exactly what he says.
I think one of the reasons my IG does so well is maybe people can tell because I have no grammar skills. Like, I write my copy, and as you can see, like, I cut my best. I go there. I like write. I think it matters.
So Gary's answer is yes, copywriting matters in 2021. Knowing that copywriting matters in 2021, I have 3 keys that will help you cash in on better copywriting today. I'm Ray Edwards, and on this channel, I teach entrepreneurs, business owners, and thought leaders how to write and say what sells their products, services, and ideas without sounding salesy or pushy. If you subscribe and click the bell, YouTube will send you a message whenever we put out a new video, which we do every week. So what are the 3 keys to getting copywriting to produce cash flow in 2021 and beyond? Key 1, everything is copy. Copywriting begins with the very first piece of social media content you publish. If everything is copy, it means the entire social media marketing strategy is based on good copywriting. Let's define social media marketing as, quite simply, the distribution of valuable free content to people who want or need it. It's the basis of all marketing. I call this value-first marketing, and it's crucially important in today's economy. Here's why. People are more careful now than ever with their money, and we need to be more careful with their money and with our money. We need to make sure we sell them a product or service that's exactly what they need and solves their exact problem. The usual way to do serious multi-channel content marketing is to create core content pieces. For instance, longer, high-quality YouTube videos like the one you're watching right now. Knowing who is the person that is my market, and knowing what's on the mind of my market, what are the big problems people are facing, and then presenting solutions. I then wrote the script, shot the video, got the editing done, etc. And copywriting continues to be part of this whole process. As I stated earlier, everything is copy. The title of this video is a headline. The YouTube description of the video is copy designed to get people to watch the video or take action on the links in the description itself. The email we send to our email subscribers about the video is copywriting. That takes powerful copy. So let's say you produce 1 pillar piece of content per week. The problem is that 1 piece of content is not enough to get the job done. What is the job of the content in content marketing? The job of all content marketing is to provide as much real value as possible to as many ideal customers as possible. Many people fear that if they try to put out too much content, as in several different pieces of content throughout each day, it will reduce the quality of their content and thus reduce the results of their marketing. People often tell me they would rather publish 1 high-quality piece of content per month than publish a dozen lesser quality pieces of content. And the mistake they're making is, this is not an either-or question, it's a both-and question. This leads to key number 2. You need quality and quantity content marketing. Some people say publish 1 piece of content per week, or even 1 per month. Just make sure it's higher quality. Other people say push out a high volume of content. For instance, 4 or 5 posts a day on Instagram or Facebook. Enter micro content. Gary Vee pioneered the idea of distributing large numbers of short videos, giving microscopic pieces of content. This is a great way to spread your message far and wide to a high number of people. This micro content approach is a great short-term strategy because it allows you to speed up the building of the know, like, and trust factor with those people. If you do it intelligently, it will lead them back to your core content where they will invest more time because the content is of a deeper, lengthier nature. All your content should be helpful and should also engage listeners and viewers to dig deeper into your marketing system. Because once they consume enough of your micro content and your core content, You want them to sign up for your email list or your VIP notification list for when you have services or products available for purchase. Because a certain percentage of your audience wants to go deeper with you and they want to pay you money to help them. This is where most people start thinking about copywriting. Most people think copywriting happens during the sales process. Let's go back and listen to what Gary Vee actually said. For him, copywriting starts at the Instagram level, the Twitter level, the Facebook level, the micro content level. And this is why the argument about quantity over quality or vice versa is a fallacious argument. Key number 3, use the core message multiplier when you create any content. When I say your core message, I need you to understand this is more than just knowing your company slogan or mission statement, much more. Your core message is derived from the meaning, the purpose of your business, as in purpose-driven business. You're starting with the person you're most ideally suited to serve, figuring out the biggest problem they face and the pain it causes, and then showing them you can solve that problem for them. How do you know for sure what your true core message is? That's a bit more than we can cover in a single YouTube video. It's actually part of my Pastor Copywriting Framework, and you can get a free tutorial on how to write copy this way. Go to rayedwards.com and get our 6-part persuasion framework tutorial. It's totally free, and you can use it to start writing better copy at every level. Not just sales pages, but even your social media content. Just like what we're discussing doing in this video. As a quick example, a component of my core messaging is this phrase: change your words, change your world. This means if you change the words you say, or your copy, you can change the results you get from all your communications. This means if you work hard to change the world for the better and solve people's problems, your business begins to grow almost miraculously on its own. Knowing these key components of my core messaging makes it easy for me to produce high quality content. If you're getting value from this video and you do think it's high quality, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Thank you. I should point out that knowing your core message also makes it easy for you to extemporaneously talk for 1 to 5 minutes about that message in almost any situation. This gives you the opportunity to do things like Instagram stories, where you can slip your core messaging into an example of something you see in real life. These little pieces, which you can do on the fly, and which might appear to the uneducated eye to be lower quality, are still part of your high quality content stream. I'll bet they seem more authentic. They seem that way because they are. Once I've invested the time and effort in creating a core piece of content, like this YouTube video, I can then slice it up into smaller pieces and distribute 10 to 60-second pieces of this content on other platforms in other contexts. So far, you're probably with me and thinking to yourself, I already knew this. This is common knowledge. That may be true, but common knowledge is very seldom common practice. Please take a moment of self-reflection and ask if you're actually doing it. If you're not, now would be a good time to start. Okay, Ray, but even if I do that, there's no way I'm going to get enough pieces of micro content out of one video per week that I make for YouTube, or one podcast that I make per week, or whatever my core content might be. There's no way that's going to be enough to turn into 4 or 5 fresh posts on Instagram, etc. every day. Perhaps not. But if you think of this as one large copywriting project, here's something you can do. Use the method I call the core message multiplier. As you write the core piece of content, purposefully craft copy that is context agnostic, quotable, tweetable, and repeatable. Context agnostic means most people do not have to watch the entire piece of content to understand the small quote you're pulling out of the content to post as a meme on Facebook, for instance. That same quote could also be used on Twitter, again without the context of the entire video. The best way to produce these quotable quotes is not to have someone go through your content and find them, it's to purposefully craft them to start with. In fact, when I'm creating content, I normally start with writing these little gems first. Then I build the content around those pieces. Let me emphasize, craft every talk you give by writing the quotes worth note first, then build your talk around those. Taking this approach, you can take one 10-minute video you made for YouTube or one 20-minute podcast and purposely embed 20 or more pieces of micro content within the core content itself. It then becomes child's play to extract those pieces of micro content and use them elsewhere because you designed the copy to work that way to begin with. For me, this means when I create a YouTube video each week, I have a goal of creating over 30 pieces of content at once. Now you're able to publish your one core piece of content and also publish 4 to 5 pieces of micro content on each of your social media channels per day. You get reach, a large number of people being exposed to your content. You get frequency, a large number of people being exposed more often to the content. And you also get depth of connection, the know, like, and trust factor. So how do you cash in with copywriting in 2021? Gary Vee has gone on record as saying the problem with most people's micro content is they are phoning in the copy. He writes his own copy much of the time. And frankly, you can always tell when he does because the grammar and punctuation is terrible. But we know the indelible stamp of Gary writing his own copy. Your audience will know the same thing about you. So for God's sake, whatever you do, don't phone this in. To sum up the 3 keys of cashing in with copywriting in 2021, key 1, remember that everything is copy. Starting at the micro level of social media posts, all the way down to the purchase and beyond. This means all your content is copy. Key 2, you need quality and quantity content marketing. It's no longer sufficient to be sporadic. And for most people, it's not realistic to take the long, slow approach that I will refer to as glacier marketing, publishing one big piece of content every month or so. You just don't have time for that to work. Yes, your content should be high quality, but it also must be high quantity, and it is possible to do both, as I have described here. Key 3, use the core message multiplier when you create any core content. This means, of course, you have to dig in. You need to understand and appreciate the world of your customer and find what your own core messaging for them is, and then set up a system of multiplying it. Is this simple and easy? Heck no. But here's a cold, hard fact from your friendly neighborhood professor of harsh reality. There are no simple answers to complex questions, but there are always simpler answers than the one you currently have. One such answer is to use what I call the core message multiplier to make sure you get the most mileage out of every piece of content you create. The key ideas are in this video. Everything else you can Google. We also have deeper training available where we can help you systemize this. While I cannot make it easy, I can make it simpler. Definitely smarter and more effective. It all starts with our 5 phases of building a personality-based, purpose-driven business. And yes, you can do this even if you already have a business now. To find out when our next training available is, just go to rayedwards.com. My question for you is this: how will you start using the power of copywriting to make every piece of marketing content you publish better? Please post your ideas, your best practices, and as always, your questions below this video. I will read every one and respond to as many as possible myself. Even more importantly, get out there and put these ideas to work and let us know your success stories. Meanwhile, the friendly, benevolent YouTube algorithm has selected a video she thinks you might like to watch next. It should appear right over here. Click it and see if she's right. Until next time, I pray that you enjoy long life, good health, great prosperity, and peace for you and your house. See you in the next video.